Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peachy and this is Plant and Style. So for today's video, I thought I'd share with you guys how I'm taking care of my monsteras because I have been on quite a chopping spree in the past couple of months. And so I thought it's time to share with you guys how I propagate them, for example. And yeah, speaking of propagation, I did propagate a few of my monsteras, including my Monstera Albo. I'm gonna have a first clip, which I will share how I propagated it and repotted the top cut, and then followed by updates on the rest of my monsteras. So I will talk to you guys later. I will come back to you guys in a little bit. Just watch this first clip real quick. It's time. I'm gonna chop over here because this is an ugly leaf and we want a clean cut. Yeah, it's cut. Okay, so now the problem is, how do we strip it out of that? It is completely attached to that, so we're gonna have to cut it with scissors completely. Okay. My Monstera Albo has finally made it to the chopping board, and just a few minutes ago I chopped it, gave it a clean cut, and I did apply some growth hormone powder. I've been using exactly the same one for the past 5 years. I don't know if it's still effective, but I use it anyways. And this is fully rooted in the moss ball, which is one of the few good things that I love about moss balls. Hopefully, we are not going to interrupt its maturity. So I'm going to pot this up in pond, and I'm not gonna cut it anymore. I'm gonna leave it as is. If anything, I'm going to change the moss ball actually, because this is not gonna be stable long term. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna give it a nice big moss ball so that we don't have to bother it for a long time. So yeah, that's gonna be the main thing that I have to do today. We're gonna proceed with first taking care of the moss, removing the moss and potting it up. So we have been waiting for the wound to callus as well. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So I have this acrylic pole right here that was part of my collaboration with someone from Indonesia. Unfortunately, I've lost contact with them. I don't think they're still in business. Anyhow, so I have attached it with cable ties down there at the bottom just to secure it in the pot, because monsteras they require a lot of stability, and I've learned that the hard way. So this is good. Since there's really not a lot of root system, I can't really pot them up in a huge pot. So here's what's gonna happen for now. So I know that this will size up even without the moss. So yeah, I'm just exploring my options. So yeah, I'm gonna pot him up in pond. Do I want self-watering wick? You know what? Might as well do it just in case you don't have to do it later. Just grabbing some wick rope. Yeah. Okay, so I have this wick rope that I'm going to use just like that. Okay. Just like that. I don't know if I'm going to use the wick rope later on, but it's better to have it than not have it. Right? So I'm going to fill it up with pond at the bottom. You can see the mess that we've already done, but I have fresh pond in here and DIY pond. So I'm going to fill the bottom. Just like that, and then I'm gonna need some Velcro tape and my scissor. Some Velcro and try to place this thing. Let's put this in first, like so. Okay, just like that. And now what? Fill it up with moss, I guess. Let me see. Since we have live roots right there, aerial roots, we don't want to waste that. And we don't want to waste this moss also that it came with. So I'm gonna fill it up and add it in to the back. Give it a little cushion, basically. Okay, just like that. So that it will hopefully root down to the pot. And hi guys, we are back to the now time, which is Friday, July 11th. Okay, so this is basically 2 weeks and 4 days later, or 3 days later, and which is great because now I can show you a little update of the propagation that we did, if my Monstera is still alive or not. So let's look at the top cut. Hang on a second. So here it is now. I'm gonna put it over here so you can see the emerging leaf at that time is finally open, but as you can see, it's yet to size up. I'm not sure if it's going to continue to size up, or we might have disturbed it a little bit and stunted its growth, which is fine and understandable because that's usually what happens when you propagate something, when you do something, stress a plant basically. And it sure did get all the stress by getting beheaded. Imagine getting beheaded. Anyway, so it is also showing a little bit of browning here on this leaf alone though. So this particular plant, this specimen, and its past cuttings that I've done from this rarely get any browning really, and it's been such a hardy plant for me. I guess it loves my living room condition, but this one has been living in here in the greenhouse because I'm trying to see how well it's going to grow in here just for experiment. And this is actually the cutting that I was going to keep no matter what. So anyhow, as you can see, I think we are in good shape. Besides the little browning here, I think this completely unfurling is a good sign that this is continuously growing for me, so which is great. I did lose the bottom leaf. I had 5 leaves originally, but the bottom was looking very sad already, so I thought I might as well cut it off. So yeah, that's the Monstera Albo. This is the borsigiana, I believe. Okay, so next we have an exciting update because this actually is showing huge difference on the before and after update. So I'm talking about my Monstera adansonii Japanese tricolor was the label that I got it as. I don't know how do they call them nowadays, but I had a beautiful one. Oh my god, I'm gonna insert a picture of how it looks right here. And I have grown this from a cutting, top cutting, and if I'm not mistaken, I've had this since 2022, something like that. So I've had this for quite a while, 3 years already. And I moved it in here in the greenhouse last year, and unfortunately it did not like it one bit, which is usually the case with adansonii. They can be very finicky in my experience when you do something different to it. Any changes would definitely throw a fit. Usually as the bottom leaf would yellow, and yeah, it would lose a leaf or two like that. But in this case, it completely dropped all of its leaves basically. I mean, I did take out the rest that was not completely yellow, but they definitely turned very ugly. So might as well, I propagated one leaf, one node, and I chopped it in between each nodes while it's still in the moss bowl. And I've done this before successfully, so I wasn't worried at all because I was gonna keep an eye on it anyways. And it's not a gamble if you have kept your moss bowl moist, meaning that you have enough root system that is growing in the moss bowl, which I did in my case. And fast forward to now. So now I want to show you my bare stem Monstera adansonii update since the propagation. 1 second. And here it is. It's a bit chaotic right now because it's not in its proper pot, because I am planning on separating this cuttings, but I want to give you guys a close up. Oh no! The pole is not stable at all, but I want to show you closely what it looks like. So yeah, basically that's the top cut right there, and as you can see, each node has sprouted a new plant, new set of leaves right there. The variegation is also promising. Let's start at the bottom right here. Look at that at the bottom. So this is one plant and new leaf coming on the way right there. It's looking very green actually. Next is this one. Wow, with beautiful variegation. As you can see, this one has got some sectoral colors right there, showing a bit of yellow. Tan little plant in here because the top cutting is actually a big top cutting, because I wanted to have security just in case. But as you can see at the very top, it is definitely the most mature one, so I'm going to keep the top for sure. That is so cool, right? So keep them like that and have a bushy pole of Monstera adansonii, which I've done before, but I think 10 plants in one pole is a little too much. So it's probably more than likely to compete against each other, which will lead to some of them getting stressed out or dying off like that, not getting enough nutrients. And so it's still better for it if I remove some of it and pot it on its own pot, and also so that I can share some for you guys or sell some as well. It's really successful, isn't it? So there it is, my Monstera adansonii tricolor. Next update is on my Monstera constellation, which is hiding behind my compacta over here. So it's right there, and that actually is just the top cut now, because I did chop it into pieces because it rotted for me once again, which is not a surprise at all. Oh my god, I don't know. I am done with this constellation. This is my last attempt into trying to grow this top right here. If this one rots again, I am going to plant it outdoor. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. So you better behave yourself and start growing for me. Oh my god. So I did chop the bottom into pieces, right? And some of the cuttings are actually in here, and this is how I mostly propagate my monsteras the easiest way usually, and I've had 100% success even with my Monstera constellation, who rotted a few times before it started to root for me. So I'm assuming we're gonna go through the same problems with this constellation, but we're gonna have to try, right? So I can already see we already have some roots forming on this one right there, and this is the node that we have right here. I don't see any eye or growth point just yet, but I think it's too soon. As you can see, it's still trying to work on its roots right now. And then this one is the very chunk butt cut, and as you can see, it's already forming. Those little white fuzzy stuff are called primordial roots, and water roots are going to come out of that little fuzz. Those are actually good sign that you are about to get some water roots. So yeah, so hopefully we can get a few growth from these cuttings and keep on trying to grow this Thai constellation. I'm not gonna give up just yet, anyways. Oh my god, sorry. I'm just gonna let it drip for a few seconds. But as you can see, right there, we have some roots. Right there, look at that. Yay! Oh my god. So, I am also growing it in, what did I use? Is it still in pond? I actually added some fluval stratum right there, and that's the black stuff that you are seeing there. So I added DIY pond with fluval stratum, and that's how I am growing this one. This one doesn't come with wick rope. It just have this, I don't know, that bottom right there that has slit all around. So that's how it wicks up the water from the reservoir. So, oh my god, it's very heavy. It's looking like we might be able to save my Thai constellation after all. But yeah, wish me luck, guys. This is like the nth time I'm trying to save this plant. Unbelievable. I don't know why it's doing this now. We had a good run, and then I don't know, just succumb to root rot after root rot after root rot. So anyways, the next one is my, let's have some happy update on my Monstera borsigiana aurea, which is over here, and there is no way for me to take it out because I don't want to touch it anymore. The last time I did something to it, like I literally just moved it 1 foot, right, and it started yellowing and it dropped the leaf immediately. So I'm gonna flip you guys back and show you instead. So there it is. Look at that. It just opened up a new leaf again, and oh my god, the internodal spacing on this plant has gone shorter and shorter since moving it in this greenhouse. And yeah, that just tells you how much light they can handle, and they actually appreciate. This one is enjoying every second of this greenhouse. It actually has its own sprinkler up top right there, so it helps keep the moss bowl moist. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I am loving this. Look at that maturity. That, oh my god, look at all those holes. I cannot believe I was hoping this kinds of holes from my Monstera Thai constellation, and I never thought that I would get it from this borsigiana. It definitely does not look like small form at all, right? So yeah, Monstera aurea is doing great, and it is not due for a repot just yet because it's sitting on a stand. So still has maybe a couple of 2 feet to grow. So since the internodal spacing is also very short, so I think that it can stay on this pot. I don't have to touch it for another year, hopefully. But yeah, very, very happy with this plant indeed. The next and final update is on my Monstera Marx flame. Now, this plant I started as a small cutting, tissue culture top cutting that was very, very, very small, very tiny, like this. And I've had this for, oh my God, nearly 4 years now. And it's finally growing fast enough for me to actually appreciate it. So for a long stretch there, I was losing hope, but I think we made it. We got there, guys. We got all the fenestrations that we need, that they talk about this plant, and it is definitely worth the wait. Again, another one that I cannot move at the moment. It lives right there. It has its own sprinkler up there also, mister. I mean, to keep the moss ball moist. And also, I leave this window open all day pretty much, because otherwise it gets very, very hot in here. But I think that the monsteras appreciate the airflow that it gets from the open window. And check this out, you guys. Look at her. My Monstera Marx newest leaf is incredible. Oh, sorry. Right there. Oh my God. It is so, so amazing. Oh my God. As you can see, the internodal spaces are also shorter since moving in here. And that is the key. These plants need lots and lots and lots of light. And that is one thing that I misunderstood in the past, you know? So if I would have known better, I would have given it, blasted it with more light, which I thought I was already doing because it literally was in front of the grow light, but I guess it wasn't enough. So that just tells you nothing beats natural sunlight exposure, right? So that's it. So, so happy with my Monstera collection at the minute. And yeah, I am looking forward to growing them more or adding more into my collection, maybe. And that's it for today's video, guys. We're gonna stop right there for now. And I hope you like this video. If you do, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell down below so you'll be notified when my future video drops. Again, thank you guys so, so, so much. I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!